Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dominga P. Alam. I will be presenting the lesson 2 entitled Difficulties of Using New Technology. Okay, let's start with the cyber crimes. Cyber crimes are those committed via computer networks such as purposes as frauds, identity theft, and the hacking of sensitive information. Next, forced entry. Cybercrime is defined as offenses that are committed against individuals or groups of individuals with a criminal motive to intentionally harm the reputation of the victim or cause physical or mental harm to the victim directly or indirectly using modern telecommunication networks such as the internet and mobile phones. Okay, there are also problems of privacy when confidential information is lost or intercepted lawfully or otherwise. Next, computer crime encompasses a broad range of activities. Generally, however, it may be divided into two categories. Number one, crimes that target computers directly. Number 2, crimes facilitated by computer networks or devices. Okay, next is computer fraud. Computer fraud is any dishonest misrepresentation of fact intended to get another to do refrain from doing something which causes loss. In this context, the fraud will result in obtaining a benefit by one of a number of means. Number 1, altering computer input in an unauthorized way. Number 2, altering, destroying, suppressing, or annealing output usually to conceal unauthorized transactions. Okay, number 3, altering or deleting stored data. And number 4, altering or misusing existing system tools or software, package or altering or writing code for fraudulent purposes. Other forms of fraud may be facilitated using computer systems, including bank fraud, identity theft, extorting, and theft of classified information. Okay, let's move to identity theft. Identity theft is a form of stealing a person's identity in which someone pretends to be someone else. Typically, in order to access resources or obtain credit and other benefits in that person's name. Identity theft occurs when someone uses another personally identifying information like name, social security number, or credit card numbers without permission to commit fraud or other crimes. Identity fraud is often but not necessarily the consequence of identity theft. Someone can steal or misappropriate personal information without then committing identity theft. Using the stolen information, this can happen when a major data breach occurs. The information of a large number of people is compromised. Next is documented cases of cybercrime. One of the highest profile banking computer crime occurred during a course of 3 years beginning in 1970. Between 1995 and 1998, the News Corp satellite pay-to-view encrypted Sky TV service was hacked several times during an ongoing technological arms race between a pan-European hacking group and Euroscope. In February 2000, an individual under the allies of Mafia Boy began a serious denial of service attacks against high-profile websites including Yahoo, Amazon.com, Dell E, Trade, eBay, and CNN. On March 2, 2010, the International Investigation Operation Delego, operating under the aegis of the Department of Homeland Security, shut down the International Pedophile Ring Dream Board. On August 2010, the International Investigation Operation Delego, operating under the aegis of the Department of Homeland Security, shut down the International Pedophile Ring Dream Board. Okay, let's move to malware. Malware, short for malicious software, is used of or created by attackers to disrupt computer operation, gather sensitive information, or gain access to private computer systems. It can appear in the form of code, scripts, active content, and other software. The best known type of malware, viruses and worms, are known for the manner in which they spread rather than any specific types of behavior. The term computer virus is used for a program that has infected some executable software, and when run cause the virus to spread to other executable. On the other hand, a worm is a program that is actively transmits itself over a network to infect computers. These definitions lead to the observation that a virus requires using intervention to spread, whereas a worm spread itself automatically. Next is the purposes. Malware is sometimes used broadly against government or corporate websites to gather guarded information or to disrupt their operation in general. However, malware is often used against individuals to gain personal information such as social security number, bank or credit card number, and soon. Another strictly for profit category of malware has emerged called spyware. These programs are designed to monitor user web browsing, display unsolicited advertisement, or redirect affiliate marketing revenues to the spyware creator. The prevalence of malware as a vehicle for internet crime, along with the challenges of anti-malware software to keep up the continuous stream of new malware, has seen the adoption of a new mindset for individuals and businesses using the internet. With the amount of malware currently being distributed, some percentage of computers will always be infected. Okay, lastly, the concealment. For a malicious program to accomplish its goals, it must be able to run without being detected, shut down, or deleted. When a malicious program is disguised as something normal or desirable, users may willfully install it without realizing it. One of the most common ways that spyware is distributed is as a Trojan horse bundled with a piece of desirables, softwares that are used as downloads from the internet. And that's all. Thank you.